Tonight, a Larry Barker investigation. He thought it was the perfect crime. A Santa Fe man commits a brutal murder, flees the scene, and hides out. Weeks later, the killer is caught and confesses to the crime.
So why wasn't he convicted? It may be one of New Mexico's most bizarre murder cases. Here's Larry's investigation, Confession of a Dead Man.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court.
Then he returned to where she was and pointed the gun at her and pulled the trigger.
The guy just confessed to murder.
Yes.
You've got a body, you've got a murder weapon, and you got a confession. How do you lose a case like that?
It has all the elements of a Hollywood cliffhanger. A senior citizen found dead, an abandoned car, a missing handyman, and a gun hidden in a tree. And then there's the surprise conclusion. A Perry Mason moment, reminiscent of the 1950s courtroom drama noted for its melodramatic finale.
No, Mr. Nichols. You didn't kill Thompson. But you did, Mr. Wells.
Yes! Yes, I killed Ed Thompson! I killed him! I killed him! I killed him! I killed him!
Now, this is just Hollywood. The 2016 homicide of Elvira Segura is the real deal, and it ranks among New Mexico's most unusual murder cases.
Despite overwhelming evidence here at the crime scene, solid police work, recovery of a weapon, even a confession, the homicide case will never go to trial. Due to bizarre twists and turns, there will be no justice for the victim.
State Police Agent Patrick Montoya was assigned to the case.
Have you ever had a case like this one before?
No. This one was unique.
September 2016, a silver Kia is found abandoned in a Las Cruces pecan orchard. The car is registered to a 67-year-old retired librarian, Elvira Segura of Nambe, 20 miles north of Santa Fe. But when officers check on Miss Segura at her northern New Mexico home, they find her dead on the bathroom floor.
The deceased person was so decomposed it was hard to tell what exactly had happened to lead to their death.
There are reports of a possible witness. Robert Mondrian Powell lived with Segura, where he worked as a handyman, but was now missing.
We wanted to find him to find out from him what may have happened to Miss Segura.
Investigators learned Mondrian Powell's EBT card was being used at a Las Cruces grocery store. After a brief surveillance, Miss Segura's handyman appeared and agreed to be interviewed.
But I do appreciate you coming down and giving us this time, okay? Okay. Do you know what I want to talk to you about? No.
Mondrian Powell said 4 years ago he had been homeless. Elvira Segura befriended him and offered a place to stay. But Mondrian Powell claimed the friendship soured. He called her mean and abusive.
She was drinking a lot at one time, and she absolutely could not drink. If she started drinking, she would just get absolutely enraged at anything.
He said a few weeks ago there was an argument.
And then she'd start name calling, then she'd get in your face. She liked to poke you with her finger, too. And she was pretty nasty that time.
He claims the quarrel escalated when Miss Segura clobbered him with a TV table.
And there it comes crashing down on me. Oh, hit my arm and my head, like right there on the top, and then hit my arm. And I was, and she whacked me good too. And I said something to her. I said, that's like assault and battery, Elvira. I don't want you to go to jail. And then she started in again and started hitting me with her fists. So I got enraged, and I pushed her, and I lost it. And I pushed her back down onto the floor, and I hit her head several times, on the floor, which was a brick floor. I told her, now I've done it. I said, I'm going to go to jail because you made me lose my temper. But she wouldn't give up on it. She wouldn't stop.
So he got a gun.
I pointed it at her. I said, this is enough. This is over. She went down on one knee. And when she went down on one knee, I pulled the trigger and shot her.
You're sitting there in this interview, and all of a sudden, this guy he confesses to murder.
I was shocked. I was shocked. It was unexpected. It blew me away.
Do you know where it hit her?
No. I did see blood coming out from around her neck or back of her neck or something. And I pulled the door closed, and I never opened it again.
Robert Mondrian Powell was arrested for the murder of Elvira Segura.
Based on the evidence in this case, what do you believe happened on the day that Miss Segura died?
I believe Mr. Mondrian Powell killed her. I believe he stayed in the home roughly a week, during which time he held a yard sale, and once he scrounged up some cash, he left to Las Cruces.
Mondrian Powell led officers to a Las Cruces cemetery where he had stashed the murder weapon in a tree.
In December 2016, Mondrian Powell was formally charged in state district court. However, over the next 20 months, progress in the case would be bogged down while attorneys argued over motions, continuances, subpoenas, and witness interviews. In fact, due to turnover in the DA's office, 8 different prosecutors were assigned to the case.
In June last year, Judge Glenn Ellington decided the DA had violated Mondrian Powell's right to a speedy trial and dismissed all charges. The man who confessed to killing Elvira Segura was set free.
The judge indicated that he felt that both sides weren't as professional as they should have been.
DA Marco Cerna admits his prosecutors made mistakes.
I don't think that the remedy is dismissal, but I do agree that the case could have been handled better, not only on our side, but also on defense side.
The case has been pending before the appeals court since last fall. But even if the dismissal is reversed, Robert Mondrian Powell will never be prosecuted. You see, nobody noticed the confessed killer had been dead for a year. The 59-year-old Mondrian Powell died of exposure here in Santa Fe shortly after his release from jail.
The Segura murder case is now closed without resolution.
Anytime justice isn't served, I owe no apology. And justice wasn't served in this particular case.
I can honestly say, honestly, no lie whatsoever, that I never, ever precipitated an argument. God is my witness. That's the truth.
And what is the truth? We will never know. Larry Barker, KRQE, News 13.
Family members of Elvira Segura did not respond to requests for comment. Our coverage, of course, continues online. To watch the full police interview with Mondrian Powell, head to alwaysonkrqe.com.